We were a family impacted by a diagnosis, and it did change our life. It changed my daughter's life. It changed my marriage. It changed the way we looked at life in general. You have all these dreams when you grow up. You have all these dreams when you begin to have a family on what you'd like your family to do, how you'd like your family to spend their free time. And when you have a diagnosis come into your family, all that changes.
As a father, when you find out that your child has a diagnosis and has some developmental disability, it throws your whole world into, throws it up in the air, and it suddenly becomes unpredictable, and you start to wonder, okay, how do we manage all this? How do we cope with all this? And what do we do to give this child the best chance of having a rich and full life?
One of the things that we see in Jack is we know he might not ever be married. We know he will likely never live on his own. We know that somebody will need to care for Jack when my husband and I are no longer here to care for him. And these are deep questions that many families face.
A lot of these children have communication disorders, communication problems that kind of isolate them from the world and make it difficult for their families to interact with them. And so parents can have a lot of trouble kind of finding someone to help their child.
If you ask him to do something, he knows what you're asking him to do and he will do it. If you can have like a regular conversation with him and he will understand what you're saying. He just doesn't always have the words. He can't just verbally speak them, so he has his communication device, which he does need a little help finding the words to use.
When you're faced with that, you start to think about what does the long run look like, and how do you, as a parent, prepare your child to have the best quality of life that they can have.
As the executive director of the Beautiful Gate Center, one of the very important parts to the center that I want to make sure we do a good job at is bringing forth a culture of people, teachers, therapists, instructional assistants, people that really care about the kids and making an impact in the quality of life.
The Beautiful Gate Center is a developmental learning center that's focused on children with developmental disabilities and autism spectrum disorder. And it's for children who are severely impacted by their diagnoses and who need kind of a different place to learn.
For a person who has autism, the fact is that depending upon what kind of options they may be exposed to, they've got to be placed in a position to understand how to relate to other people, how to be a member of the family, of the community. And in reality, most traditional educational models primarily focus on academic needs, not so much on social needs. And so the Beautiful Gate Center provides an opportunity to not only meet those academic needs, but to focus more heavily on social engagement and community involvement, familial participation, things that are actually going to contribute to the success of a person long after they would be post-school age.
It just works. It's a great way to just bring everybody together, have everybody on the same page, have everybody working towards common goals and collaborating with one another. So that's one of the big things that I'm looking forward to.
I'm a speech pathologist, and I work specifically with people of all ages who need augmented or alternative forms of communication, so something other than their natural speech. In my experience, I see far too many teenagers and young adults come in for speech language services, and they're nonverbal or unintelligible, and they've never had the opportunity to develop a functional communication system. And so I'm really excited that there's going to be a place in the area that really wants to focus on that need.
I think that the focus that you'll find is that there are a team of professionals in a truly interdisciplinary kind of fashion where families are in the position to be able to access direct services from a multitude of different providers who all have areas of expertise working together to fulfill needs, whereas in other options, you'll probably find that the focus is more heavily weighted toward one specific kind of profession or one area of development.
We believe that all these children can learn, and they will learn if given the correct supports, and that's what the Beautiful Gate is all about.
We want to desperately bring this program to this area for the purpose of establishing a best practice model that I believe is really important, because if we don't have a best practice model to give to the families and children, then we can't do our job, and the children won't develop the skills that we believe they have the potential to develop.